is how to not give up on your goals in 2025. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Wanderlust Wealth Show. And this is coming at such a timely time because we are right in December right now, meaning that 2025 is just around the corner, okay? And if you're that kind of person who creates all these goals for yourself at the beginning of the new year and then you don't actually follow through and complete them, we are not having that happen this next year. No matter how 2024 went, 2025 is your year. And so I really want to tell you about the story that recently just happened just a week or so ago. And as you guys know, whenever I experience something in my life that I think is a great life lesson, part of why I created the podcast is to share it with you, right? Share all of these things that I'm realizing, learning, things that I'm solidifying in my brain in real time, because sometimes you just may not have that person for you who can help you do that. So that is why I'm here. But so if you end up finding this podcast episode to be helpful, share it with someone, right? Share it with someone else who you think can gain value from this. Because literally by not sharing it from them, you're being selfish, okay? Like I do this to people all the time. If you're a part of my inner circle, you know I'm always sending podcast episodes or things that I think are interesting that are going to help you think a different way. And sometimes people don't open it, sometimes they don't. But like if they open it and it actually ends up becoming one of the most valuable things that they've listened to all year, that's all that matters, right? But that's how I've gotten all of my friends, family members to think bigger. So I went skiing with one of my friends the other Thursday, and ever since I quit my corporate job, Thursdays have kind of been my day off in the middle of the week, because since now I'm a full-time entrepreneur, I don't have my corporate engineering job, I plan out my week, I plan out my schedule, I'm in full control over my day. And so something that brings me joy is just taking off a random day in the middle of the week to go do whatever I want. So for me, I like to really work pretty hard Monday through Wednesday and just get a lot of stuff done. Then I take Thursday off. I either go skiing or hiking or go get a massage or have a relaxed day, whatever I feel like doing. But so last Thursday, I decided that I was going to go skiing because I saw one of my friends, she had gone skiing the week before. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm back in Colorado. I can go ski again. And one of my big goals is to really get back into both skiing and rock climbing and get back into shape the way that I used to be when I lived in Colorado before. Now, mind you, I have not had a ski pass in 5 years, over 5 years. Because I left Colorado in 2019, the first time round, and I have not had a ski pass since then. I maybe skied 1 or 2 days a year ever since then. I think there was a year I didn't ski anything at all. And before, when I lived here, I used to try and ski at least like 10 to 15 days a year, but that was many, many years ago. And also know this, I started learning how to ski at the age of 22, really 23 years old. So I did not grow up skiing. And a lot of the time when you start learning a new activity as an adult, you just come into it with so many more fears than if you learned as a child. And while I was living in New Orleans before working my corporate engineering job, I thought I was going to be able to ski so much more because I had this idea that going into corporate America, now I have money and I'm going to have so much time. But I had such little vacation time that it was so hard to fit in skiing as well as other activities, and COVID happened and there was so many things that happened that I just didn't prioritize going skiing. But so moving back, I was like, yes, I'm going to start skiing again. This is going to be so fun. I'm going to be a badass again, you know? And so I texted one of my friends who lives really close to the resorts and was like, hey, you want to go ski this Thursday? And she was like, yeah, I'll meet you out there. Perfect, right? And this is really helping me tick off my get better at skiing and be more outdoorsy goal, right? And so because I had some extra time, I was like, oh, I'll just get there early, maybe hit up a few runs by myself, get my legs back. And then she was going to join me afterwards around like 12 or 1 o'clock. Now, turns out that not having a ski pass for 5 years really takes a toll on you. Like I remember even just the physical act, and if you've ever been skiing, you know, the act of getting all my gear on, putting my boots on, carrying my skis from the parking lot all the way to the ski lifts, just being in all that gear, I was already exhausted. Part of me was just like, why am I doing this again? Now, I promise stay with me because we're tying all of this back into real estate investing, into life, into entrepreneurship, all of it. And so then I get on the chairlift and I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful out, feeling pretty good, excited to get a couple runs in. get off the chairlift and I start going down. And mind you, with this ski resort, I don't really know it. Like I've skied it once before and that is it. So I don't really know the runs. I don't know the path and I'm really having to focus while also figuring out how to ski again. I think it maybe would have been a little different if I had skied somewhere where I used to ski all the time, like Keystone or Loveland or something. But because of all of these factors of not having skied in a long time, me being by myself, not really knowing the runs, I was kind of freaking out inside. Like literally, I was going down a green. This isn't even a hard run, but going down a green and I am just so nervous inside. I'm going so slow, just keeping an eye out for everything. I'm mentally exhausted, a little bit petrified. My legs are starting to get wobbly. My back is starting to ache. I get to like the bottom of a run and I'm just like, I don't know if I had anything left in me, honestly. I have no clue. That was so much more effort and energy than I was expecting.
Okay, y'all, do I have something exciting for you? Now, I just came out with a brand new free training on exactly how you, yes, you can get started investing in real estate within the next 3 months. Because if you're someone who wants more freedom in your life, the ability to travel the world and do the things that you actually want to do in life, you're going to want to listen up. Trust me. Now, this training is freaking awesome. I literally go in and spill the tea on the number one strategy that is working right now, like literally today in today's market. And I go over how to look at deals and make sure that they actually cash flow and how to set your properties up so that you can run them from anywhere in the world. Like I literally have managed my properties from over 6 different time zones. So if you are stuck in analysis paralysis, you don't know where to start when it comes to real estate investing, but you know that it's something that you want to do in the future, this training is going to be for you. So to check it out, click the link in the show notes or DM me the word hack, like HACK on Instagram, and I will send you the link. Now let's dive back into the show.
And honestly, after 1.5 runs, I was ready to pack it up and go home. I was like, maybe the skiing thing isn't for me. Like maybe I had it wrong. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this, you know? And then 12 o'clock finally hits. And then my friend Nicole, she ends up meeting me at the bottom of the ski lift to go and do a few runs with her. And I'm so nervous, literally getting up to her. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna, number one, see me ski and be like, do you even know what you're doing, right? And then I, in my head, am thinking, well, I'd also be totally okay with just going to the bar and grabbing some food and a drink and calling it a day. But thankfully, the ego inside me was like, no, Olivia, you're doing this. You said this was one of your goals for the year to get back into Spoon, to gain your confidence around it. You are doing this. And so we meet up, start chit-chatting, and finally she's like, okay, you ready? And kind of reluctantly, I'm like, you know what? Here we go. Let's go. And so now here is what happened next. Now, my friend Nicole, she is a way better skier than me. She literally lives right next to the ski resort. She works for the ski resort in their corporate office. Been skiing for many, many, many years. And while I was so nervous about her like laughing at me or thinking I'm just such a newbie, she was so supportive the entire time. The entire time. And the fact that she knew the park like the back of her hand and knew exactly what way to go, she led the way the entire time. And basically, just having her there, having her in front of me leading the way, gave me so much confidence that I started flying down the mountain as well. And I remember her taking off and being like, oh gosh, I got to keep up with her. Like just having her in front of me gave me the confidence to really get into the groove of things, figure it out, get my legs back and start skiing down the mountain like a badass, right? It's like by the end, I was feeling unstoppable. I was flying down the mountain and also just remembered why everyone loves skiing, why everyone does this, even with the whole effort of getting your gear all the way from the car to the ski resort and how like much of a pain in the butt it is. It's worth it, right? And having her there to guide me was huge and allowed me to not give up. And so what can we take from that, right? That applies to literally every single thing in your life. Sometimes you just need a buddy or a mentor or a coach so that you don't give up, right? If you listen to one of my previous episodes from in the middle of the year, sometime in June or July or something, I put out a podcast episode talking about the fact that I before was trying to work out by myself and really was just like not doing it. Like I wasn't working out. I was not staying consistent. I'd get to the gym and just sit in my car. And then I ended up joining a fitness studio where they have classes for the exact kind of workout that I want to do. I'm a big lifter. I love to power lift, squats, everything with a barbell. And this class, they had it every single morning at 7 a.m. And so I could commit to that. And if I missed a class, I'd be charged. But I needed that accountability. I needed a coach to force me to get stuff done, right? And to not lollygag during my workouts. And I could have just kept like dragging my way through and being like, Olivia, you need to be more accountable. You need to why aren't you working out? Is this weakness? Blah, 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 blah. But no, instead, I took away my own ego and was like, sometimes you just need a coach. You need a buddy. You need a mentor. I know I always work better when I have someone to work out with versus when I'm working out by myself. It's the same thing with real estate investing, right? A lot of the time people are like, oh yeah, I'll just do it myself. I'll figure it out. And that's when they don't get started for a month, 2 months, 5 months, 7 months, 12 months. And then it's been 5 years and they still haven't purchased a property. And you're like, why is that, right? And a lot of the time, it's something like real estate investing. It can feel really scary, right? Or the first steps can feel like a drag, the same way that like getting all of my gear on and lugging it all the way from my car to the bottom of the ski lift feels like a drag, right? And if that is the first experience and you're hitting roadblocks, it's so easy to quit. But whenever you have someone keeping you accountable through it throughout the entire time, it's so much easier not to quit. It's so much easier to actually stick to your goals. Follow it through, right? Because you have that accountability and you have someone that you don't want to let down. So I challenge you in this next year, in 2025, what are things that you've told yourself you wanted to get done? It could be working out. It could be buying real estate. It could be starting a business, whatever that looks like for you, right? What are those things that have always been on your goals list that you just haven't really taken any action on? Now, can you find a buddy or can you find a mentor or can you join a coaching program, right? That is going to take you to that next level and allow you to actually complete your goals, right? I think about one of my coaching students. She had been trying to buy a property for 3 years and then joined the program and was under contract in 2 months, right? Now, this isn't for you to necessarily join Wanderlust Wealth Academy. If that's something you do want to do, we'd love to have you. Just reach out to us on Instagram or book a call with us. But it's more just, I want you to actually accomplish your goals in 2025. Keep yourself accountable, okay? You got this, and I'm rooting for you. And if you found this podcast episode to be helpful, make sure that you share this with a friend or leave a review. The reviews help so freaking much. Okay, that's all I've got for you. Bye, fam. Thank you so much for listening to Wanderlust Wealth Show. Now, don't forget to follow the podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you love this episode, it would literally mean the world to me if you shared this with a friend or a family member or literally like anyone off of the street. Like right now, go ahead, share it so you don't forget, or post it on social media and make sure to tag me. I love seeing what you're listening in on and what you resonated with, and I'm just so freaking thankful for you. I'm so freaking excited for you. I love you, and don't forget, life really doesn't have to be hard.